Hey, happy day 419 of my journey from the offline brick and mortar and corporate world of real business to the online world. And, what's working, what's not working. Today, I want to just do kind of a review of the past week. A lot has happened, a lot of change, a lot of things going on with me. And, some good, some bad, not very many bad, actually. It's been a pretty good week. There was a big Facebook glitch that everybody freaked out over, and it wasn't even a glitch. I think it was an update. And there's been some changes with it, but for like the better part of a day, I think was it Wednesday? I don't remember what day it was now because it didn't affect me that much. I just decided I wouldn't do my stuff that day. Might have been Thursday. It was either Wednesday or Thursday. It's pretty funny. I don't remember what day it was. So it obviously didn't have a huge impact on me. But I did notice that it actually quadrupled the number of downloads I had on my podcast. I have never had a day with this many downloads, and it was 4 times more than my best day ever on one day, on that same day. So I'm like, yeah, bring it down, Facebook. Let people find other things to consume, other things to be exposed to, other ways of doing business. We never want to put all of our eggs in one basket. So that is the key lesson learned for a lot of people this week. Now, I learned that lesson a few years ago because I got put in Facebook jail for 30 days. I was doing a network marketing business and I wasn't doing it right. I was doing it the way I was trained to do it, which now I know because I've learned so much more, was absolutely terrible way of doing business. Horrible. It didn't feel right to me, but I was doing it anyway because that's what I was told to do. And I used to do what I was told to do all the time. And well, in some things I do what I'm told. Mostly I always have done my own thing, but I've had mind-numbing episodes in my past where I've done what other people tell me to do. I found myself doing that in the last couple of years as I was learning about the online world. I got into this trap of learning, looking for answers, more, and not enough doing. And now I've really shut off a lot of that noise, like almost all of that noise, and I'm just doing, and taking action. Because at some point we know enough that we just need to take action and figure out what works for us. We can learn other people's systems. We can grow and shortcut the process. But the fact is, until we implement the process, take action and make it our own, we don't get success. We just have learned someone else's process. Well, just learning other people's process is cool, but it doesn't mean anything. It's not going to put any money in our bank. It's not going to put food on the table. It's not going to do anything until we actually take action and do what it is that we need to do to implement the things that we've learned. And what happens is we all implement them differently. Everybody, 100 people can take the exact same training and you'll get 100 different results coming out of that training. 95% of the people will never ever do anything with that training. They'll have sat there in the training and maybe they'll have gotten something out of it, but they won't actually take action on it. 5% will take action on it, and those 5 people will get totally different results because they will put and add their own experience to that, and what they do with it, what they're willing to do with it, what they're even willing to try with it is going to be vastly different. Thus, their results will be vastly different. One person might turn it into $1 million idea. Another person might make $100,000. A couple of people might make $100 or $200, but they'll have at least done something and gotten some success with it. So when we're selling our programs and we're coaching people, we have to keep that in mind, that there's a whole spectrum of people, and we will offer them what we know and they can take advantage of it. And it's not our responsibility if they do or don't. We want them to, but we can't own if people don't do anything. And I used to, for a lot of years, feel bad about that. And I wouldn't do things and I wouldn't put things in place because I felt like everybody had to succeed. And I learned that everybody can. Everybody has the ability to create whatever they want. But the vast majority of people won't, because they won't believe that they can create and have what they want, or they won't take the necessary steps, which usually means getting off their butt and doing something, right? So that was a big lesson learned this week. Sometimes we just have to keep moving forward and keep taking action. I had a great training. I did a great training with a lady that I'm going to be partnering with to do a 90-day challenge starting April 1st on live videos. We were going to do a YouTube a day challenge, but we've decided it's just going to be live video. Somewhere you go and do a live video. So it could be Instagram Live, Facebook Live, YouTube Live. I think we haven't really laid out the ground rules yet, but I did a training for her private podcasting influencer group yesterday, and I just showed and shared how I do my content. It was a really good training. She was super excited about it, and I think it's one of those examples where I spent a couple of years coming up with the process that I currently use. It culminated from all the training and all the lessons that I've learned. And this is how I do my content now. Now, it's not set in stone. This is how I do it now. And it's always changing a little bit because the platforms we use are changing. The way we do things change. As I learn more and know more, I change the way I do things. So it's a continuously improving process, but I have a system and a process in place. And so I taught everybody that system and process in her group. And it was really fun. I love doing that. I found that I love teaching people stuff that I figured out, because sometimes I feel like I'm stupid about technology and I don't know how to do things. But then I realize as I'm sitting there, oh my God, I know how to do so many things that I just take for granted and I automatically do. I have thought processes and ways I do things that I naturally do it, so I don't realize that other people don't know how to do it that way. So I did that. Busy week. I also did a live Facebook training. I did all my content, shared my content. I'm rethinking coaching calls. Oh my gosh, I had some good coaching calls this week, which were really fun. And I can't remember what else. Oh, I was going to share, I'm doing a 30-day challenge. So the 30-day customer challenge is going really, really well. Creating an actual action book that will become a physical book to go along with that. I've done I'm almost done. Well, we're day 16 today, so we're not almost done. We're halfway through the challenge, but it's definitely something that I'm going to offer again and again and again. So I'm going to create it into an evergreen product. So this is the test run, the beta test, and then it's at the end of the first women's summit I've ever done, which again, we're going to do another women's summit, which shame on me as I'm getting used to having my granddaughter. I haven't gotten going on my next women's summit, and I better haul booty and get going on that. Or I'm going to be in the same position I was in for this one. I'm going to be rushing, and I'm not going to have it done. And that's not okay, because it's a cool way for people to learn. It's really a great way to get exposure to incredible women that most people wouldn't otherwise be exposed to. And they wouldn't know that, oh my God, there's people out there that actually do exactly what I need help with. And they could help me. And instead of me having to go out and find and look and dig and try to figure it out all by myself, I could just call Heather. I could just call Joy. I could just call Tina. Oh my God. And, do a discovery call with her, and she could point me in the right direction if I don't want to go ahead and sign up for her high ticket coaching program or whatever they happen to offer. So I need to get going on that. And I think I'll map that out today. I will map out and start contacting the women that I'd like to participate in that. I also have to catch up on my interviews for my Pajama Grandma podcast. I've got a year's supply of people that want to be interviewed for that. So I'm going to have to find a way to fit into my schedule every week that I'm automatically interviewing people. And it might have to be on the weekends. I hate to say this. I know people hate weekend things, but since I'm watching my granddaughter, I have to restructure how I actually do things. And it might mean that every Saturday I interview somebody for the podcast. It might just have to be what I do, or every Sunday after, every Sunday, whenever works for people, whatever works for the people that I'm interviewing and talking to. Because I like having the interviews, and I think people like hearing other people's stories, and I think that's important to have on the podcast. I should just share some, because I've got tons of room on my podcast this month because I'm doing different things. I'm not sharing a lot of the videos and the content that I'm creating on my podcast because it's not appropriate. It's behind the scenes stuff, like the customer challenge. So every day I'm doing a pretty decent video for that, which could be audio, but it's not appropriate because it's a paid product. I'm not going to put it on my podcast for free. Not right now. Maybe bits and pieces of it and tidbits, but not the whole thing. So doing that, and still packing and moving, right? So there's a lot going on. And that's okay. That makes life fun and exciting, and the experience of it fun and exciting. So what are you working on? What are you working on right now that you need to take that next step in? I just did a piece on getting your feet wet. And are you a tip your toe in the water to test the waters, and then maybe if it's cold, you're not even going to get in? We've all done that. Or are you tip your toe in the water and then get in really slowly, a little inch by inch? You work your way down to get up to your neck, and then finally you dunk your head in the water? Or are you a person that just dives right in? You go to the side, or you go to the diving board and you just dive right in. It doesn't matter. No one style is better or worse than the other. It's just understanding ourselves. And the better we understand ourselves, the more we understand ourselves. Our life is about a journey of personal improvement, and experiencing our life as only we uniquely can. And as we do that, as we understand ourselves better, we decide what's appropriate for the different situations for the life that we want to create. So working on that today too. So go out, make it an awesome day. I will, of course, see you tomorrow because I'll be here. I'll be with you tomorrow if you're just hearing me on the podcast. If there's any way I can help you, go ahead and message me. I am easy to find. I am all over the place. I am on so many platforms I've lost track. So Google Pajama Grandma or Sharon Horne-Ellstrom and you will find me. And I will serve you in any way I can. Have an awesome day. Bye.